Good morning, and I'll say this is just what the time just keeps on passing on. Time is relevant, and as an American, the question is, who are we? As we continue to do what? Watch and watch, quiet watchers, while our children are not making it. What is the value of a public education system that does not discuss the inability to engage in the community? There's no real public conversation, although all of the evidence that's demonstrating what's not happening is truly there. This district has disproportionality out of the roof, and just because they feel that under their NRS code for a habitual disciplinary problem, and people have compromised their rights, and they just have. What can I say? I'm going to tell you the criticalness of understanding that freedom was never free. And there were always people that realized that and had the ability to self-advocacy, as I understand what the power is in collateral unity, meaning that we all must do what we have to do. What is what is your what obligation is it of yours anyway? So no filter beam. What does that beam look like? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that blush. I don't know about that either. Does it change it? Crash? I don't know. I don't think so. No filter. Whatever. Live chat. Remember to guard your abide by our community. Definitely. Community guidelines. And what is a community? Number one, because you need to understand, what is community in the first place, right? Especially when you've had no role to play. And I'm saying, here we are living in the year of 2024. It is, what is it, however? It is what it is. It is Tuesday. And the last week, no, there's one more week at the end of April. And 420 just passed, 21, 22, 23, 423. And it really doesn't matter what time of the day it is. It doesn't matter anything. It matters that as an American citizen, there's no way for self-advocacy here in Nevada. Who are you going to tell? There's no one to tell. So when I was at the NAACP meeting, and other people were there, and they know that they were there, and they know that Tyrone Thompson was there, and they could attest to, testify to others that were in the room, like the AG, Aaron Ford, the Attorney General, and they had a discussion that day because there was some public activity in regards to one of these high schools, and there were some children there that were misbehaving, and they just were. Well, the state decided that they were not going to press charges. They were going to press charges against these kids. They had to have some form of punishment. So they decided that these children would be on punishment with ankle monitors, in their home. And I'm going to tell you, for the 4 children that they would like to prosecute for murder, and murder is the case they're giving us, understand, this case is for the Negro community to deal with, because public education is just public. Bing, bing, bing. Oh, you forgot that you are just human capital. Well, wake the hell up. And wake up, wake up, wake up. Yeah, we all got to wake up and level up. You know the song? Level, 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 my level. Level up. That's what I say, because guess what? Truly, it is what it is. And when you understand the power of what? The power in understanding that it is you, and it is no more than you. Just you. I gotta, there we go. Everybody has power, but you have to follow through, and you have to participate, and life requires a level of engagement, and it just behooves the shit out of me why so many black people pretend that public education looks out for the interests of all children when black people are failing to show up. I mean, what does it look like showing up? Well, when we have so many black legislators, but the advocacy groups that we have, somehow, where only one person was representing everybody, like the Black Caucus, it does exist. Yvette, whatever her name is, she is on it, and she is it. So when she is limited to information, is what she shares, not what you may know, and not what everybody in the community would know. But everybody has an obligation to wake up. Grand Rising. Where are you, and where is your voice? Oh, you thought you had a voice. I know I have a voice because I can observe, and when I see people that tell me with no quorum about it, I know they have a job. I've met two black women who are lead people in Head Start. My concern is that Head Start doesn't have the parent pack, and they're supposed to be having some young men's workshop or a conference. Well, they should have been having it, but I don't even understand my brother's keeper here in Nevada, because there are nothing but black not-for-profit organizations that are working in these schools with my brother's keeper. But it's unfortunate. It's not a district-wide thing. You get it? And they have children like a la peanut butter sandwiches. They're just being a part of the program and recognized. But what we don't recognize is their ability to achieve. We don't know what grade level these children can. We don't even know if they can read or write or comprehend King's English. I don't know, because there's no data, and nobody does data. And I said, what the hell? How can you have a school improvement plan without any data? And I'm saying, yeah, you're going to have to be required to provide the data. It's 30, 60, 90 days into the school year that the federal government requires that you document what it is you're doing with those federal dollars. Oh, data. Oh, you mean like manifestation determination data? What is she talking about? Well, if you have a child that has a behavior problem, you should know what that is. But they have to do something before they can expel your child. They have to have a process, and it is called a manifestation determination. And it is a hearing, and they just had to start doing them. I recognize that they're really realizing that they have to do them. So once they've done them, I just really want to know, well, where is the work? What is Nevada's SELPA look like? Because Nevada doesn't have a special education area local plan or state plan. It does not exist here. Oh, well, I just didn't understand flexibility, boo. But the flexibility in America truly is those who were here first get to continue. If those who are here now choose not to step up. And I'm saying that if the black people living in Nevada, and I don't care what kind of money you have, because that's just access, but you still don't have the same level of access as I do, as I understand how the system works. People die all the time, but they've set so many rules in place and in process, so you just can't acquire, and everybody gets to harvest off of your ass because, oh, you had a death in the family. Everybody, my mother was sick, but we had so many goddamn providers, physicians on call coming to the house. Everybody got a check, and all of the medical tests and the things that she had to do in order to do what? You understand what I'm saying? Survive. But when you get on this mandatory medication, you're not improving yourself. You're not even saving yourself, because you're not doing the things that you need to do to better your own health, like drink water, walk, exercise, and keep the blood flowing. It's just real. And you have to do the things that you have to do to be successful. But everybody has a choice. But I'm going to tell you, I am a willful person. Believe it or not, you probably do. If I've made it this far to have conversations in shorts I'm on YouTube. And I pay for YouTube. I always paid for YouTube because I wanted to store my stuff on their server. See, I've got thousands of videos out here in the ethos, and people believe if they can read a book and then they know what you know. You don't know shit that I know because you have not experienced it. And I'm saying the challenge of the conversation is accountability. What does the accountability look like? Oh, I don't know because I heard the Native Americans talk about the training that they would like to have from service providers. And then I'm hearing the weak shit that came from West Ed, as West Ed is the regional service provider for the state of Nevada. You know what I'm talking about. And then that Nevada Prep. I drove all the way out there for a couple of meetings and I was just highly disappointed. Why am I going to keep on going out there to sit down with people that don't know as much as I know? I'm not a, well, people could say, oh, she's an arrogant whatever. Perhaps, but guess what? My children made it. That's right. My children are not a part of the 88% of population of Negro children in the juvenile facility. Because there is. And there are so many black men in the penitentiary. And goddamn, I thought we all heard what Obama said. And that's why the law changed. You don't even understand what the law is. Pardon me? We're good. You want to be on my live? Hey, I'm on live on YouTube. Yeah, but when Obama won the White House, he said, everybody, because if you consider yourself an American, I am, go back into your local communities and talk to your neighbor. See what's working for you and if it's working for them. But if it's not, excuse me, Governor, but we need to tighten up some shit here. People need to have an obligation to the work that they are supposed to provide. I don't like hearing that there's just one person and a director and an underling to get what? The work done, because they don't know how to utilize the community. And if they don't know how to utilize the community, well, hell, what can I say? Everybody has to have a task, a chore, and everybody has to feel like they're a part of the process. Really? Part of the process. And I am an American, and I had an awesome time getting this gray hair as I chaired. What did I chair? I chaired the District Advisory Committee for Title I and compensatory dollars in Sacramento City Unified School District. Do you know that I think my sister said Lisa Peters is now the superintendent of Sacramento City Unified School District? And guess what? She was an employee that rose to the levels of. But they have a superintendent here, and she's been participating. And see, my problem was when I found out what CCSD was really all about, and all of these contractors, then I realized that we're just talking about human capital. Hell, they don't follow any of the federal regulations. And I said, none of the federal regulations? And it's a choice. I didn't realize what a choice it is. It should not be a choice, because in America, it's you. And you're entitled to this one thing they call a FAPE. Under the Department of Education, they say you're entitled to a free and appropriate public education. And what does that look like? It looks like I'm getting some stress wrinkles. It looks like free and appropriate, but you should be able to measure that. And so when you're looking at the investment of how they utilize those federal dollars, and they want to talk about how low they go on the implementation of public education and how low they are, just know that they're making so many tax dollars, and they're waiving the tax dollars for organizations that come here, like the Raiders or the Oakland A's or the anything business, waiver. And I'm saying now the schools are hollering that they want a waiver for not helping your ass get to the next step. And I'm saying, but you didn't make it. What does that mean? It means that you ain't got a roof over your head, and people are just getting used to living out there in the ether, and it just doesn't work for children for sustainable options. You know what I'm saying? You just can't keep dragging your child behind you like a rag doll. There's an obligation to parenting. And what does that look like? It looks like sustainability. But when the minute you get on your feet, I did talk to this young woman. I was trying to help Miss Diaz, and she was doing what she needed to do, but then things get caught up, and then people don't want to work with you But, it's a blessing, I guess. I got a blessing recently because, I have this NV Energy power bill with the shutoff notice. I don't like the concept of the equal pay because equal pay really just screws people. But what really screws people is NV Energy has this deal with what? They get to charge whatever they charge. But if you had, and see, this really only hurts senior citizens because if you have a loved one that is in your house that is on medical equipment, then your bills are high. But when you don't get the medical waiver, the people don't get the medical waiver, and NV Energy doesn't collect that waiver so that they can give you a special rate from the federal government because we all know we know where the money is coming from for the home energy assistance, that federal dollar. But you see, criminality comes in and has creeped in. Do you realize that here in Nevada they're saying that the prison system can't pay the electricity bill from NV Energy? They just can't afford the bills. Well, neither can the senior citizens because we get no discount. And I'm saying, but you got the money from the federal government. And I can't validate or document that the $105 that you gave me from the Project Reach is where I got the money from. But they only gave me $105 on a bill that was over $1,000. And I'm saying, I don't get it. I don't, no capiche. I don't comprehend. No comprende. It doesn't make sense because it makes dollars and no cents. $1,600 shut off power bill notice. So yeah. So I did me a GoFundMe page. I didn't get $1. But I did. I was able to get an extension on my power bill. And so I figured I'd have a yard sale. And, it is what it is. But we going to make it work. Brother's going to work it out. Brother's going to work. Mother's going to work it out. Because it always seems that, my mother has worked things out before I even needed to have them worked out. But I'm just going to keep talking about, and I probably come back maybe 2 or 3 times a day. Why? Because we need to talk about public education. The Justice Department reaches a $138 million settlement with somebody. And I'm going to tell you, across this nation, all states have an obligation to offer what is free and appropriate and must produce the data that demonstrates the maintenance of effort for the children that are generating those federal dollars, like Title I, neglected and delinquent, the economic impact aid, the money that comes in for English language learners. I mean, the federal government just does not do what? It doesn't support scholarships and like what, a lot of the Republican Party have advocated and lobbied to use federal dollars to give scholarships. And they are. Well, how are they giving scholarships here in Nevada when this constant question is hanging and looming over their heads? Because the children who look like me are not making it. The majority of them are getting letter grades of F and still being promoted. And I'm saying that is a fallacy that you believe is going to continue to happen because we now understand that we are paying for everything. And I do mean everything. And enough is enough. So in the year of 2024, please join in the concern and share your concerns. Hit me up in my inbox. Let's continue the conversation. We can have live chats. People can join in and we can have this conversation. Failure in the year of 2024. Let's just say never anymore. Because the federal government has said all 3-year-olds will be enrolled in a public option, a public educational option. That's what Kamala did. But what Kamala did more that I can appreciate is that she rewrote the truancy regulations and laws in the state of California. And I used the medical system to get through it. But it was the doctors that created the way that gave my son the entitlement to benefit from public education. Failure is never an option until you let it become the only option that you have. So I'll be back. Like I said, it's Free Fries Friday. No, it's not Free Fries. Free Fries Tuesday. 24 hours. You can get free fries at McDonald's if you have the McDonald's app on your device. But, it's just opening the door and letting people into your space. But the obligation is to thrive. And I'm going to see that we will thrive in the year of 2024. I'm not looming and trying to get a position. I applied to volunteer on positions, and I was not selected because they, they, you know, award positions to people here. They don't believe in public. I'm just part of the public. So, Citizen Anderson here today and tomorrow. So, like I said, go back, check out my podcast on Spotify, Parent Empowerment Half an Hour. Empower yourself. Listen to the dialogue and the conversation. Listen to some of the board meetings as I have copied and uploaded and shared a conversation in regards to what they're doing. Everybody needs to pay attention as freedom was never free. Like, share, and empower me the grand rising in 2024. Y'all have a blessed day now. I'm going to end my live.